So time is money. We all know that saying, but what does it really mean? To you and me, it could mean an hourly wage or the price we pay for services that give us more time with our friends and family. Now, I know you're all asking, but Chris, what does this mean to a commercial lender? And I was a corporate lender for over 10 years, and I'm going to show you what it means to a commercial lender and how Canary provides lenders with more time and more money. During my 10 years as a banker, I figured out that someone is always waiting. The banker's waiting for info from a client, and then the client's waiting for the banker to respond in this never-ending cycle. Well, Canary breaks that cycle. The problem is everyone's waiting, and the inability of banks to produce information they need to make decisions is what causes that waiting. Instead, they rely on the client to provide the information, mainly in the form of financial statements. Now, there are two types of credit requests that a lender deals with: annual reviews and interim requests. Annual reviews use the annual statements provided by the client's external accountant. However, it can take up to 4 months for statements to be readied, and then a further 2 to 3 months for the bank to process them. For the bank, that delay increases the capital provisions required to account for possible loan losses and therefore a lower ROI. Interim requests are usually with the client prepared statements. And now I know you're thinking any good business can produce financial statements on demand. But I can't tell you how many times, $50 million requests in my time with color-coded financial statements. So figuring that out is I don't know, it's not child's play. Let's put it that way. So Canary eliminates that waiting time by using the client's accounts to produce data that's required to assign a risk rating to the client in real time. Effectively, this takes the time needed to process a credit request from months to days. And because of this, the bank has a higher ROI and an increased lending capacity due to lower capital requirements. And the client receives faster turnaround on requests, and so speedy responses gives the banks a huge advantage over potential competition because they can respond quicker than anybody else. Now, what's the opportunity here? It's a $5.2 billion industry growing at 15% a year. You'd think that the fintechs would be all over this, but they're not, because it's a really high initial investment needed to start a commercial lending company, where each borrower borrows at least $10 million. This means the banks are established, are fairly insulated, and the ones, if we do get this product into the bank's hands, once that's adopted by one, the rest will come around industry-wide. So what's the competition? It's the status quo. And as you can see, the three major competing companies here, Moody's, S&P, and Oak North, they don't provide anything close to what the offering of Canary. So what am I asking for? Well, maybe call me. I'm looking for a partner institution to test Canary against client data, and I'm looking for capital to build a developer team, and really any advice or introductions, I'd love to hear that. Again, my name is Chris. Thanks for listening, and take your questions.